Hello. Hi, good morning or good evening, depending on where you are. This is Putri, who works together with Ibu Kate, who you just met, and the community environment team. And my name is Christina. I'm head of admissions, and I can see some familiar faces, and I know that and recognize some names. So I know that I've spoken to a few of you already as well. And Beema is our co-host this morning, whose voice you just heard. Yes, so Putri and I have a little bit of a presentation for you this morning, but actually it is about you and giving you the chance to ask any questions you have, which is why we're in the breakout room. So this is the time for you to unmute and, kind of show your face, ask any questions you have, so we have an open conversation rather than just talking at you.
Yes.
Yes.
And we're here to answer it.
Exactly. So to the best of our ability. So just a bit of admin. As we mentioned before, you can switch in between the rooms as well. So as Kate explained, we've got the Living in Bali session with us. We've got a lower school session with Ibu Victoria and a upper school session with Park Benjamin. So if you have any questions regarding curriculum, those are the ones that you can switch to. And we're here to just have a chat about living in Bali and everything else in between.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So
Shall we?
Yes. So Beema, if you could just share the slides. So we have a couple of conversation starters. So these are just really, we've gone through that. So if you could just hop to the next one, beautiful. So we've got a couple of questions that we do get all the time, and that might be on your top of mind at the moment as well. So we'll just have a little chat to all of the points, and then we hand over to you. If you've got a question in between, we're a small group right now, so don't be shy. You can unmute yourself and just interrupt. You can raise your hand and be polite as well, or you can pop it in the chat as well. So we'll have a look. We'll open that so we can see that as well. Okay, so where do we live? Do you want to start?
Okay, where do I live? Where do I live?
Do you personally live? Yeah.
So we usually Green School is in Sibang. Sibang is a small town, small.
Sorry, I'm just asking Beema to put on the map. There we are. Okay.
There you go. So we are. Sibang is in Badung, so it's not necessarily in Ubud. People might have thought that we are in Ubud, but we're not. We're in a small town. It's called Sibang, and then the best part of Sibang is actually close to Ubud or to Canggu. Or it really depends on what you decide when you get here. Lots of parents decide to go to stay close by the school when they got here, and then after that, if they feel like they have enough experience here, and then they would like to be more on the beach side, they usually stays in Canggu where you live.
At the moment, but I'm moving here. I'm doing the opposite.
Ooh, and then we also have the Ubud people, the Ubud community. And then in Ubud, there's usually when people would like to have like a laid back way of living, and then it's more on the hillside of Bali. But our hill is not like hill because we're very tropical.
Yes.
And then if you feel like you would like to live in the city where the local live, the living cost will be much lower. It's in Denpasar area.
Yeah.
So that's where as the local would usually live.
And it is, so there's just a question that popped up. Yes, we are recording the breakout sessions as well. So if you switch in between, you can always be watching later on and get all the questions that are asked at the time as well. So again, feel free to go back and forth. Corinne, you just unmuted yourself. Do you have any questions?
No, I'm good. I'm listening. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. So the
second question.
So can I just hang on? Just add to where people live.
Oh yeah.
The biobus. We do have a biobus which is really cool. That's fueled by cooking oil, which is a project that students are participating in as well. But we've got 3 buses. Between 3 and 4 buses at the moment in circulation, and they have pickup points. So as Putri explained, we've got one in Ubud where a lot of families live, and also one in Canggu. We've got 2 pickup points in Canggu because Canggu area is quite large. And we do recommend usually before you come to Bali, don't lock yourself into any area. So you can book a Airbnb, a maybe like a homestay, something short term, so that you can give yourself time exploring the island. It is ever changing at the moment, especially after COVID. There's been a really big influx of people moving to the island, which obviously changed also its, it's demographic, but also its infrastructure. So there's still a lot of construction in certain areas. And so if you might have visited Bali 5 years ago, it's very different now. So give yourself some time to arrive on the island, explore, and see what works for you. Next question. So I could talk about this. Yes.
On top of that, I feel like also the lease timing. So usually when you lease a house, it's usually they will ask you for a 1 year contract, and then we suggest you to actually do a little bit of research before you booking a 1 year contract, and then do not settle for anything long term when you get here. I think
that's a really good one. And I think that's also one in living in Bali. I think, first of all, it's also good when you do your budget. And when we, I know that there's families who don't need to, be so concerned about it, but there's also families who need to, be a little bit more mindful. And which certainly there's a lot of families who are more mindful of it. So we always say, when you do arrive, keep in mind that a lot of the first year you have to pay things up front. So the school fee is payable for the first year up front. And there's a couple of additional fees that you pay for the first year. So there's also the registration deposit and so forth. So have a look at the school fees. But then, as Putri said, the rental is also often upfront. So even if you don't commit right away for a year, once you find a place that you like, you can bring down the price significantly if you do pay upfront for the year. So you can sometimes arrange a monthly payment, but then sometimes it can be even 40 or 50% double. So just knowing that certain things you have to pay upfront for the first year gives you a bit of, just assistance in planning your budget for the time while in Bali. But we can always help with that as well. So if you have any specific questions, that's what we're here for. So next question, how do we get around?
So we, of course, have the amazing bus. It's not safety comes first for us. So we really encourage our students to go on the bus. We have CCTV in the bus, and our driver is all well trained and as per our standard and all that.
And seatbelts.
Yes, of course, that too. And then when you go around, there's a lot of options, especially if the bus doesn't reaches your area, there's always carpool. So you can find people that live in a same area, and then you can carpool together or rent a car with a driver all together. That is also an option. And then for the bigger one and for yourself, usually people like to go around with Gojek. It's like Uber. But local Uber, we call it Gojek. It's so big here. There's a car and there's motorbike. But I personally suggest to go Bluebird, which is the Indonesian taxi. They have the same apps. And then it's, I feel like when we go to Gojek, it's like I'm riding in someone's car.
Yeah.
But when I go in Bluebird, I feel like it's a taxi, it's an official, and then it's traceable, and Gojek is also traceable.
Yeah.
So it really, there's lots of options. For those who live in Sibang, actually can just walk to school or bike to school, which we love. So yes, that's some option on transportation in Bali.
Yeah, and so that is obviously how you get to school and back, but it's also how you get around usually. So some families, so it really depends. So some families prefer to get a car and a driver. You can rent both car and also hire a driver on a monthly basis. You can drive yourself if you like. So you need to get a driver's license here, but that's something that you purchase. So with your international license, you can go to the police and purchase a Indonesian license. And then also some families, or a lot of families, get quite comfortable and start using and riding their own motorbikes. That is something that Putri actually has a talk on each year as well, about the safety, because we do need to let you know that, yes, it does look easy, it does look safe, but accidents do happen. And it is something that it's something that you need to be careful when you ride a motorbike, because there are different rules here than there are in your home country usually. And so and always wear a helmet, and there's a few things that we just need to let you know before you take on that journey.
Great segue. Now is the insurance. So if things happen So if this happened, what about the insurance?
Yeah. Do you want me to talk a little bit?
Yes, please.
Yeah,
I
okay,
think you
so-
have more experience in that.
Yeah, so I would say as an international, so that's a difference if you are not Indonesian, make sure that you get an international health insurance. So you can do that either in your home country before you come and get some information. Even the current healthcare provider that you have, they may be able to provide you some international health insurance. Important is just to be aware that yes, there is good healthcare in Indonesia, but for emergencies or for bigger operations or bigger interventions, it might be recommended still to travel overseas. So as long as your health insurance covers a trip to Singapore or Thailand, where there might be more resources, that's really important, especially with children. We can also advise so on the healthcare providers that we use here as well. But it's so I would say that's one that's definitely worth investing in. So you can hear the kids in the background at the moment. They're just moving. We're close to the middle school, and I can show you actually. So what we hear and see. So students are just moving to their classes. They just finished their morning break, and they're moving classes. Yeah. So next question. And again, if anybody, there's a chat. Any new? Let's have a look here.
Yeah.
Miranda, you're free to move. That's from us. Can you feel free to leave questions? Okay, sorry, that's both us. So if you have any questions, let us know. And I can see there's more people popping into our chat. Welcome. Again, we're just Putri and myself are just covering a couple of things at the moment, but feel free to jump in at any time. Next one.
Things to do.
Yes.
Where do we start?
Where do we start?
Where do we start? So things we do. First we go to school. And then second we build community here. There's what I think once you connect with community in the school, you will always find a way. Just for instance, if you are passionate about writings, for instance, there's actually a writers club amongst parents, so you can actually pursue that passion of yours. And then from there they can have writers retreats, so they can actually hang out with same people, like-minded people. If you are into crypto, there's also crypto club and all that. So there's always things to do in the school, especially with the new living bridge is happening. So
Yeah. Do you want to? So we have the section on the living bridge coming up in a moment because we have the students who actually were part of designing it. But so just as an overview, so the bridge is actually it's the parent. Sorry, it's a green school for parents. So it's a parent space that and community space. But it's where after drop off, a lot of our parents go to use the co-working space, but also, as Putri explained, take part in classes, seminars, offer classes or seminars. So we offer. We have an app where we have a calendar and the schedule is shared every day with, and Kate mentioned this as well. We've got Bahasa lessons, we've got cooking classes, we've got breathwork, yoga, wild fitness. What else do we have? We have lots
Qigong.
of Qigong. There you go. Cycling clubs. What else do we have? We have trash pickup.
Yep. There's always option for everyone.
Yeah.
And if you don't find one, you can always make one.
Yes. We always encourage you to create some new clubs and ways of connecting. So there's never anything that you get bored, but there's also, of course, lots of things to do, and that leads us to the next point. It doesn't need to be only in our community and centered around Green School. There's lots of things to explore around Bali.
Agreed. So Bali is a small island, and then we have our neighboring islands. It's very close, such as Lombok or Gili. So and we do have partners. The school do have partners with NGOs or like people that doing great things in that neighboring island. So such as our high schoolers went to Lombok to learn about shark conservation. And then our high schools also went to Lembongan to learn about from seaweed farmer. And then if you don't want to travel by boat, Bali itself is already beautiful, and we have the hills of Bali. It's called Badugul. If you want if you miss some cold, because Bali is so tropical at the moment, and if you and there's also beaches and alongside the coastal area, and there is this dolphin project. It's called what's it called? Our middle school just went there.
Yeah.
So I forgot what is it called, but there's a lot of NGOs that we work together, and they're open for visit and also holidays around the area. And then if you want to go broader, there's also Komodo Island, couple of hours drive, don't drive by plane, but be mindful of your carbon emissions when you go traveling.
Yeah.
So
I mean, Indonesia is so diverse and large, and there's lots of things to explore. But yes, we always encourage start with your community and then branch out. Bali is so interesting to explore and discover. There's so many things, and I think it's also just really important to connect with our host island. And yes, I mean, Bali itself, Indonesia, we also have the advantage of a lot of our families who spend longer time in this part of Southeast Asia, then can also branch out and go to Vietnam and go to Thailand and explore other areas of the world that might be a little bit too far if you're based in the US. So there are definitely things that you can come out, and explore. Also, flights to Japan are quite affordable from Bali. But again, we always encourage take advantage of your time here in Bali and connect with its people and its land.
Yeah.
So visa and legal things. Okay. Really quick, so we can assist and connect you with a visa agency that we usually work with, but there's many in Bali. It is quite easy and straightforward in Bali to obtain a visa. Usually our families, what they do is apply for a student visa. So once we offer you a place for your child, you can take that letter of offer and connect with the agent, and they can apply for a student visa for the child. And then this is fairly new, so it's been in place for about a year and a bit. Parents can now apply for a dependent visa on that student visa that gives you the same length of that student visa. So now parents can stay for a year. The only restriction that we always make parents aware of, you cannot draw a salary in Indonesia on that visa. So it's really important. You can do remote work, and then most of our parents do. They run businesses or they do online work. As long as your salary does come from outside and you do not, you're not employed in Indonesia. There are ways to also find work here, but they are limited. So we always say it's important that you are able to, that you know what you're doing when you get here and not depending on finding work as a foreigner in Bali. That's a little bit more difficult.
Yep. Done. So
Last one.
Yep. How do we make family friends? Well, easy. Just come.
Yes.
Just come.
Yes, so we're very lucky. We have a super diverse community. And I mean, to be honest, all the ways that we have above explained how to connect and make community here and get busy, that's how you meet friends for life. And we hear so many times also from families who have left Green School but who are still in touch with other Green School families. Some actually, there's an email that I got not long ago. There was a Dutch family who connected with other families in the Netherlands and created their own little weekly meetups and initiatives, how they create a Green School community in the Netherlands. So there's definitely, you make friends from everywhere. Now, I would say,
how do we make friends? So I think our community is very beautiful, and then especially the community where we at, because we are happy to claim that we're gonna be your Balinese second cousin.
That's pretty. Yeah.
So if you ever finding, you don't know where to go, you don't know who to contact and this and that, and there's always someone that's gonna support you along the way. That's number one. And number two, we have a parent WhatsApp group. It really depends on where do you live. By area. So there's actually Green School family. It's not even parent anymore. It's a community. Yeah. So it's a Green School community, Sibang group if you live in Sibang. So if there's like power off from PLN, it was like the power in your house is on. So we are creating that community through connection. And then after that, we also have our Spirit Friday. It happened every 2 weeks. It's allowing you to stay over in the school and connect with the parents and the kids, having fun until they're tired and ready to go home.
Yeah, Spirit Friday is a bit of a market, and on second Fridays in the afternoon. So after we have a big school assembly, and then we have local vendors that, and got food, drinks, and family picnics, music.
Yeah.
So it's a big party.
Yeah.
And as Putri said, that's how you connect with other families as well. So, and
Yeah.
everybody's welcome.
Yeah.
I'm just keeping an eye on the chat, and please do let me know if anybody has any questions. Bima, can you see anybody raising their hand? Anything? No? Is anybody nodding, shaking their head? Anything else that we have not mentioned yet?
Yep.
Anything that you wanted to urgently know about being in Bali, being at Green School? I'm waiting. No. Then anything else we want to add? Is there anything that we can maybe share that we get asked?
I think this is a tip. I don't know if it's a pro tip or not, but tip from me. It says like whenever you come to Bali, please bring a mindset, expect to actually learning or like, learning new things in a way. It can be a new way of communication. It can be a new way of living for sure. It is definitely new way in commuting from home to school, and then a new way learning the culture. So I think when you come here, just be prepared to open your heart and open your mind for it, because sometimes when you got here, you feel like, it doesn't work like this in my country. Yes, because it's not your country. And then it's basically by knowing and be present in this moment, I feel like you'll be more open to it, and you absorbs all of the experience to it. So I think that will amplify your experience in a way.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, with anything, but it is really sometimes it is about expectation setting, and I think we are in a really unique position that we are still a destination school. So most of our, even though there's more and more families now moving to Bali because Bali is a beautiful place to live, most of our families are still coming here because they're choosing Green School as a path and education for their children. So our community is 90% made up by families who are choosing to be here and part of Green School, part of the community. And then everything else comes as, a great byproduct. But that also means that most of our families come with really, a certain expectation regarding the education and regarding the experience here. And as Putri said, it's really important to keep an open mind and understand that this will be a super unique experience. And there's so much beauty in Bali, so much beauty at Green School, so much beauty in the people here, but it is very unique, and will be different to what you've experienced before. And it's not utopian. So there are things that are different, that are difficult, and everything does come with with an up and a downside. I mean, the great thing is about being in a community where you have people who are so invested and excited about education and the community, but it also means that it's you have lots and lots of different opinions and lots of different
It can be intense.
It can be,
because they're passionate
absolutely.
about
Oh
this.
yes, we are so passionate, and it's a really interesting ecosystem that after my 3 years here, I don't think I've figured out yet. So it's still something that we're trying to navigate all the time, and it grows, but that's the exciting thing. And I think what we're just reminded of daily is that we, as even adults, we never stop learning, we never stop enriching ourselves. And yes, sorry, we'll
4 minutes ago.
4 minutes. We've got 4 minutes to go. Thank you, Bima. Appreciate it. Okay, so this is the time. If anybody has any questions, because Putri and I have been talking a lot, and we don't mind talking, as you can hear. We love that, actually. But please, if you have any questions, this is why we're in the room, so that we have a little bit more of an intimate chance to have a chat. Okay.
So there's Karina
Marcio and Corinna. Yeah. So, any questions? No? Corinna, can we ask you, have you visited Bali recently?
No, I haven't.
Oh, okay. So, you've never been here?
No,
That's exciting. And can I just assume you're in Australia?
I am.
Okay. Okay, that's exciting. And how old are your children?
My daughter's 10
Yeah.
Yeah, and before she came along, I've lived all in different places in the world, and we wanted to head down to Bali, but we got held up a little bit. But now we're in a position that we can go. So yeah, so just exploring this August intake
Oh, that's exciting. That'll be soon. So she's 10. When is she turning 11?
in August.
Okay, so she will be grade 6. Am I right?
Grade
She-
5 here, grade
Grade
5
5.
here.
Okay, so she's finishing grade 5 at the moment. I mean, she's in the middle of grade 5, sorry. So let
Yeah.
me look it up. But I think she'll be a young grade 6 for us. But because she's an August born, if you like to place her in the last year of primary school of grade 5, that's also okay. So we can actually a little bit. So our cutoff is 1st of September, and if you come from the southern hemisphere, you either repeat 6 months or you skip 6 months. So if you like to have a grade 5 intake, that's something that we definitely can explore. Grade
Right.
5 is a fun year as
Yeah.
well.
Grade 5.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm so passionate about student project. But I was like, so grade
Grade 5
5 is a fun grade. This is when they can actually do their first capstone project, which is the footprint.
Yeah.
And then footprint experience can be challenging for grade 5 because they have to create their passion project or a project that is impactful and meaningful for a community or themselves and all that, and related to sustainability at a grade 5 level.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and
It's great. So because the great thing about these projects is also you get to connect with a part of the staff, like Putri. So she's a mentor,
Yeah, I'm a mentor.
and assists the students. But the great thing is also parents can be mentors. And it's funny because yesterday I spoke to a parent, Joe. She's a parent in my daughter's class, and she said she's helping a student to sew old footballs together for local schools, and as part of the project. And I said, "Oh, do you sew?" She's like, "I've never sewed in my life." And I said, "Oh, that's a brave thing." She's like, "Yeah, I don't know how we're sewing a football, but she's learning and she's creating."
and that's
something.
the learning,
Yeah.
not only for the kids but also for the adult. But that's
Yeah.
the learning. That is the first capstone project, and then having that experience will elevate in a way their learning experience.
Yeah, and presenting that's
Oh,
a
yeah.
really cool thing as well.